It is late fall, and the streams and wetlands of Northern California come alive with special guests. Thousands of migrating birds will leave their northern breeding nests and head south for the warmer weather in California. When spring arrives, these birds will return to their northern homes. The late fall will also bring another migration, Chinook salmon, also known as king salmon. They will be returning to complete their life cycle of life. The Chinook salmon have grown and matured in the ocean. Their odyssey, on average, has taken 2 to 4 years. From the vast Pacific Ocean, instinct will guide them back through the Golden Gate into San Francisco Bay. They will be retracing the journey they took years before as a juvenile. Their goal is to find the very same freshwater stream where they were conceived. Not all will find their birth stream. Some will seek new streams to spawn. Today we investigate Dry Creek, a small tributary of the Sacramento River. Dry Creek flows west through Rockland, Roseville, and finally just a little north of Sacramento. Dry Creek joins Steelhead Creek and finally flows into the Sacramento River. In Roseville, two streams meet, Secret Ravine and Miners Ravine. Together they create Dry Creek. It is near the confluence of these streams where we meet Petra. Petra explains that there are 5 important species of salmon native to the North American West Coast, from Northern California to Alaska.
My name is Petra, and I learned to remember the 5 kinds of salmon by the 5 fingers of my hand. The thumb stands for the chum salmon. The index finger, because you can suck somebody in the eye with that, that is your sockeye salmon. The middle finger, since it's the longest, tallest finger, is your king, so that's your king or Chinook salmon. The ring finger stands for the silver salmon, because you wear maybe a silver ring on that finger, and your pinky makes you remember your pink salmon. The 5 salmons.
Of the 5 salmon species, Chinook salmon has chosen Dry Creek to spawn. It was said that in early California, the numbers of Chinook salmon spawning in our local streams was so thick with fish, you could walk across the stream on salmon, never touching the river bottom. Hydraulic mining, dams, urbanization, as well as chemicals dumped into our streams all have contributed to the decline of our wild salmon numbers. If we remove barriers, keep our streams clean, restore stream beds, there is hope we can restore our salmon runs. In 2023, Hemphill Dam was reconfigured. Just north of Dry Creek watershed is the Auburn Ravine watershed. Auburn Ravine flows through the city of Lincoln, and it too will eventually enter the Sacramento River. Just east of the city was an old agricultural dam. The dam blocked spawning salmon from entering 6 miles of beautiful spawning riverbed. The Nevada Irrigation District and volunteer organizations such as Friends of Auburn Ravine working together made a difference. The dam was reconfigured and lowered. Grab a calculator. In her shallow graveled nest, a female Chinook salmon can lay between 3,000 and 6,000 eggs. Fertilized by the male, the eggs will hatch in about 12 weeks. At this point, only 15% of her eggs will have survived. The young salmon will feed on aquatic insects. Without clean streams, the young salmon will not survive. If only 1% of her eggs survive and grow to adulthood, how many adult salmon would we see returning to Dry Creek in 2 to 4 years? The newly born salmon, called alevin, will first rely on their egg sac for nourishment. With the egg sac depleted, they will need to seek out small aquatic life for nourishment. The stream's current will begin to carry them westward. In the hope of concealing themselves from predators, the fry will develop stripes for camouflage. They will take on a new name, parr. The westward journey will take the juveniles first through urban communities such as Rockland, Roseville, and Sacramento. As the parr migrate downstream, they will move from urban to agriculture. Some will mistakenly enter into farming canals, where they will be trapped. One solution is to erect screens, directing the juvenile salmon to take the correct direction. Dry Creek becomes a tributary to Steelhead Creek. The combined rivers now flow into the Sacramento River. The Sacramento River flows west into the brackish waters of the Sacramento and San Joaquin Delta. The Delta receives its water from both the Pacific Ocean and from California's freshwater streams and rivers. The parr's body must now learn to adapt to the Delta's saltier brackish waters. The parrs will lose their camouflage stripes, take on a silver color. Their internal organs learn to adapt to the salty water. As the parr adapts to the salt water, they will receive a new name, smolt. Smolts will remain in the Delta for up to a year. Eventually, the smolt must swim out through the Golden Gate and into the Pacific Ocean. They will grow and fatten on smaller fish, squid and krill. They themselves will face predators, orcas, sea lions, and sharks. Within 2 to 4 years, Chinook must return to spawn. Unlike steelhead trout, who can spawn in freshwater streams and are able to return to the ocean, Chinook's bodies will not tolerate fresh water. Their circle of life ends after spawning. Let's pause a moment and ponder. In our society, to transverse from point A to point B, we enter our destination into our car's computer or global positioning system, your GPS. Your GPS is in communication with a satellite. Within seconds, your car computer locates your destination, takes into account road conditions, and off you go. Our Chinook salmon has only a small brain and a distant memory of their journey from their birth stream to swimming out under the Golden Gate into the Pacific Ocean, and after maybe 4 years at sea, remarkably is able to retrace their path home. Leaving the ocean and entering fresh water, one more physical change will occur. The male will lose his bright silver skin color and turn darker. The male will also develop a hooked upper jaw. The female will have a blunt nose. Salmon have a keen sense of smell. If they feel a stream is polluted, they will pass and move on. Steelhead Creek is the gateway to the Dry Creek watershed. In preparation for the 2024 fall Chinook spawning season, a concerted effort was made to remove all trash from Steelhead Creek. River City Waterway Alliance removed 120,000 pounds of trash from Steelhead Creek. Up and down the Dry Creek watershed, other cleanup projects also occurred. Did this year's 2024 cleanup make a difference? Let us see. Let's talk salmon count. Each fall, when the salmon reappear in our local watershed, the Dry Creek Conservancy sponsors our annual salmon count. The method is simple. We don water bibs and river walk. We record our sightings. We look for live salmon or their carcasses. We determine if the salmon are male or female. We take measurements of the carcasses. We also look for salmon nests, which are called redds. Each team reports their findings. You are welcome to join in. We do have water bibs to loan. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming events.
Things about doing the salmon surveys is getting to see these 3-foot-long fish swimming in creeks that sometimes are only 5 to 10 feet wide. So you really have a fish that is half the size of this creek. And I think that really speaks to the persistence and determination of these fish, which is what I find that people admire most about these species. They make their way all the way from the Pacific Ocean, 125 miles away, a long, arduous journey getting past predators just to come here and spawn and reproduce. I think in that sense, it humanizes the species a little bit, and it's something that we look up to this species and it makes us care about them that much more.
Let us look at the number of spawners returning to Dry Creek's watershed in prior years. With above average rainfall between 2002 and 2004, the numbers seemed awesome. In 2003, an estimated 1,600 Chinook salmon arrived in our watershed. However, the following years, the spawning population collapsed. Just last year, 2023, there were no reported salmon in our streams. With a massive effort to clean the debris from our streams, along with an early rainfall, our Chinook salmon count bounced back. Our total count for this year of live salmon and carcasses rose to 208 spotted salmon. Secret Ravine was the winner with 123 sightings. Over 3 days, 90 volunteers combed 25 miles of stream bed.